back.
This is black tar heroin, a potent illegal drug you can find on the streets of Seattle. Experts say use of this highly addictive drug is up 35% across America and in our own area. And now, heroin use is being linked to the suicide of Seattle's rock star Kurt Cobain. His own wife is talking about him being hooked on heroin. In fact, Courtney Love says Seattle has become a haven for heroin.
She wasn't with Cobain in the days leading up to Friday's suicide, but she says Cobain had a history of heroin addiction, and police tell her they're checking to see if the drug had anything to do with the suicide. KOMO's Keith Eldridge has just returned from the home Love and Cobain shared on Lake Washington, the home in which Cobain committed suicide. He spoke with Cobain's best friend and band member, Chris Novoselic. Is there any evidence, Keith, that Cobain was on heroin?
Well, Dan, we may never know. We don't know as yet, and since the toxicology tests being done don't have to be made public, at this point we may never know. The medical examiner is just ruling it as a suicide. Cobain's death is causing worldwide repercussions, of course, because of the fame of his group Nirvana. But his widow, singer Courtney Love, says heroin could have been a contributing factor in his death. She told the Seattle Post-Intelligencer Cobain had easy access to heroin because it's like apples in the orchard. It's falling off the trees. And the Seattle police won't do anything about it. She says it's more available here than any other city. And she asked the police department, don't you get embarrassed when you hear that Seattle is famous for grunge, cappuccino, and heroin?
Well, I can't comment on what she said, and I really don't know how easy it is to obtain heroin in any of those other cities. You can buy drugs, heroin, cocaine, at any time on the streets of Seattle. I will be the first to admit that. But whether it's significantly more here, I doubt that.
Well, this afternoon I spoke with Nirvana co-founder Chris Novoselic. Now, he didn't want to go on camera to talk about it, but he did tell me that Courtney Love is all wrong to connect Cobain's suicide with drugs. Novoselic says that Cobain just lost the will to live. He told me they had just had an argument with Courtney Love, telling her the comments in the newspaper were way off base. He said it's too soon to know if he and Dave Grohl will keep Nirvana going or form a new band or just go their separate ways right now. At this point, they're still just trying to deal with the grief as police continue to investigate any possible drug connection.
It's all too bad. Keith, thank you.
So with Courtney Love saying getting heroin in Seattle is as easy as finding apples falling off trees, we checked with experts on that today. They told us getting heroin here is no different than in any other major city.